Testing, testing. Wait a minute. It's 46 degrees here, almost 9 a.m. The sun's not even out. Are we all ready to go outside? I think we are. 46 degrees? What's up with that? It's snowing this morning in southern New England, and we are too warm to snow here. What's going on? Well, you see the air there? Well, you see the flag being pushed by the air? It's coming from the northeast. And out there to our northeast is 58 degree water. So we're talking about that too warm to snow near the ocean, cold enough to snow up in the sky, and certainly away from the ocean. And that's what we have this morning. A lot of images coming in this morning. Really grateful. John Lowell shared this one from 1,326 feet in Beckett, Massachusetts this morning. The ground is white. Also parts of Connecticut, New York. We've been talking about this now for a week, about what was going to happen today. All right, I'm going to back off out of the wind a little bit. I know it sounds kind of funky when I get underneath kind of an echo chamber here, but I want you to be able to hear me because there's a lot to talk about this morning. I always talk about what is wind, air, moving from high to low pressure. So obviously here, at least down near the ground, we have high pressure to the north, low pressure to the south. As a matter of fact, we've got cyclogenesis to our south. But I defer once again to the velocity azimuth display. What is the air doing up in the sky? Well, up to about 3,000 feet. It's from the northeast. Over the radar, Boston radar is actually Norton, Massachusetts. 35 miles an hour up to about 3,000 feet. And then you get up to about 10,000 feet, it's from the other direction, from the southwest at 75 to 80 miles per hour. Just amazing. Now, I talked about that being differential advection, but it's cold air coming at us both from the northeast down low and from the southwest up high. You see, it's record cold today from coast to coast, from California to Virginia. Dozens of us waking up to the coldest November 1st in our life. But as I like to say, once in a lifetime weather happens to somebody, somewhere, every day. In Europe, it's the warmest November 1st in our life, and even the hottest day ever recorded in the month of November. Ever recorded being since our grandparents were around. Anyhow, it's weather being weather. It's fairly extreme right now with a high amplitude flow. Now, what's extraordinary about all the air I just talked about, now let's look at the wind on the top of Mount Washington. That must be ridiculous, right? Yeah, that is ridiculous. 0 miles per hour wind at 6,288 feet this morning at 8:45. What in the world? How can that be? Well, if we go back to that velocity azimuth display, see that area there around 6,000 feet where there's no detection? There's no air moving between that strong wind near the ground and the strong wind up in the sky. Extraordinary. How can that be, TK? Well, let's look at the guidance product for the 850 millibar level. I talk about this all the time. Blue is cold enough for snow. The purple is Arctic, and the yellow and orange is very warm. All right, so there it is, national scale. Now let's just close in on the northeast. This is at about 5,000 feet. The center of an 850 millibar cold low is going right over northern New England this morning. It's part of a huge dynamic of what's happening now, that almost looking like a polar vortex over Chicago yesterday. Intense squall came right in there, captured on this time lapse, credited in text because I forgot his name. Anyhow, on radar, that looked like a polar vortex of sorts coming across lower Lake Michigan. We've been talking about this for a week now. That cold upper level low is going to come right over the Midwest, and it was going to try and phase with anything we could have coming out of the tropics here in New England. And here's the satellite imagery from yesterday with that spin over the Midwest. The front that's been stalled just south of New England since the weekend. and also what was supposed to be Tropical Storm Vince from 48 hours ago. All those three things trying to merge, but happening too little, too late, and offshore. It's all going on right now. So what about all that weather in Connecticut and Massachusetts, all that snow? Is it going to happen here in eastern New England? You can see it trying to come out of the sky right there over Worcester County. That's where we're looking, well, towards Middlesex County, I guess. And so there's definitely virga, and there's going to be precipitation coming out of the clouds, but it's too warm for snow here in the Boston area and Cape Cod, where we probably get a shower. What's happening? Let's look at the high-resolution rapid refresh. So what happens in a situation like this, that blue and green and western New England kind of jumps, tries to reform as rain showers over Cape Cod. That's the energy transfer happening. The energy from that upper level cold low is transferring to a deepening ocean storm, and we call that kind of jumping over southern New England as that energy transfer occurs. It's very frustrating, isn't it, when you're trying to see your first snowflakes of the season, which so many people are for the third day in a row. Killington was snowing this morning and blowing snow and snowing, so I think Superstar will be covered within a day or two. They're just teasing us with when they're going to open, not saying. And it could be any minute, really. And actually a little harder to make snow at Killington today because there's a higher relative humidity, but that relative humidity is going to go down again. About a 48-hour window at Killington for making snow into about Friday morning. And then it's going to go away for a while. Anyhow, talking about that energy transfer, let's go to the wind product here. This is the surface wind, or 10 meters anyway. And the sort of violet color, that is 20 to 30 miles an hour, then when you, or knots. And then when you get into the red color, that's more like 30 to 40 knots. So it is close to storm force wind developing, but it's racing away. So we do have cyclogenesis, that's called cyclogenesis. That goes away, and we are left with high pressure moving in here, and the wind will be decreasing as that high comes in, and it will be our turn for the coldest morning of the season again on tomorrow morning. And even in Boston, there's a chance that the temperature could dip below 32 for just a few minutes. I mean, it's not enough to warrant me draining all my garden hoses and taking indoor showers. Yeah, I'm still taking outdoor showers here at this house. And I'll let you know when I have to drain my outdoor shower. Anyhow, it's very cold. Yes, granted. So as that high goes offshore on Friday, we're going to get that southwest wind to come back. We're going to warm up being too warm for making snow in New England. And it's going to be windy, too. All right, now let's go to that coast-to-coast national guidance from Pivotal Weather. This is the Euro. High pressure goes offshore. There's a weak front in northern New England Saturday. Kind of settles south on Sunday. Chance of a few showers around here. And that's a really important boundary. High pressure is going to be building in southeastern Canada with new colder air. And this looks different than yesterday. Monday now looks like a system races through here. And then even colder air tries to come in on Tuesday. Yesterday there was a big storm on Tuesday, Wednesday that I was calling Thursday, Friday. Well, guess what? Now it is Thursday, Friday for a possible intense, looks like Alberta Clipper coming through here. Well, no, the Alberta Clipper would be Monday. And then an intense, more synoptic scale storm trying to come at us next Thursday, Friday with the whole shooting match of different precipitation types, green rain, purple ice, and blue being snow. That would be next Friday or so into next weekend. So that's going to be very interesting. Certainly not boring at all. T-Rex, are you tied up? How on earth did you get tied around this cement cylinder? How did you do that, T-Rex? He went down to the garden, which he'll be doing a lot. Yeah, he's still pretty hurt. And so really, it's going to be a fascinating cloud day. Anything could come out of the sky today. Grapple, hail. I'm sure people will be reporting hail. And maybe it will be hail. I mean, there is some vertical velocity. They kind of shear there with that wind from the northeast at 30 to 40. And then a calm layer. And then above that, from the southwest at 75 miles an hour, that causes shear. So you're going to have cloud waves going through here. And there goes the lobsterman. Lobsterman goes out no matter what. Actually, that's not a lobster boat, Tim. I think that's a research boat or a work boat. And then we have the moon. The moon's still up there. It was led way ahead. Jupiter was way ahead of it last night. Yesterday around the yard, I was lamenting the passing of one season. We're going to another season. I didn't get to go trick-or-treating, but I got a treat of music in Boston last night. Took a while for them to take the stage, but I'll probably get a copyright infringement, and I'll share the revenue, or they can just have all the revenue. I might not be eligible for monetization today, but it's just worth it because it's so fun watching this weather, and this is something we've been talking about for a week. Was it going to be a big storm or not? Well, it did turn into the first snow for a lot of people in Connecticut and Massachusetts, so I'd say the Euro kind of won, even though neither model did a good job with that. I'm calling both wrong. Weather is impossible to predict still. I don't even know what's going to happen in 6 hours around here. I think I might see a raindrop or a snowflake, but that snow in western New England, really fun. I'm going to just shut the door. Well, let's go to Enmore. Is it cold enough for you, Steve? Yeah. Beautiful blue sky. Not bad for cold air advection. A little bit surprised how little advection, that is little wind, there is on this trick-or-treat night. Just about night. And our garden pumpkins made it just barely hung on to Halloween. They'll be going into the seed recycle pile. I'll take some in the house and put some in the garden tonight and tomorrow. That'll be the end of pumpkin season. And we begin the November-December lighting season. Next week at this time, the sun will be nearing the horizon. Almost calm out there in the middle of the Hingham Bay. The blue sky, light breeze from the east. Not bad. Still some boats going by. Nothing too spooky going on this trick-or-treat time. Maybe a tiny bit spooky. Getting in the car, riding to Boston, going to TD Bank North. Little music tonight. I'll try not to record too many videos of the music. No promises. You know how that gets. Some front row parking here, and kind of funny, the car we parked next to, I love the trim. Apparently it's called a Rivian, and I think that's a web camera right there. And then you go by, and the dashboard, it tells you, you are being watched. That's great. We haven't been here in like almost a week. We're all waiting for the doors to open.
Does anybody else have VIP?
Oh, of course.
No?
Of course we are. But we're going to dinner first. I think this is perfect for Halloween. They stuck the knife right into the burrito. Just a great dinner. Pre-Depeche Mode. The Guy Fieri's. Until you see your sign. There's a hole in the soul like an animal with no conscience, repentance, or doubt. Close your eyes, pay your price for your paradise. Devil's feet on the sea to the south. Holding my body to the talking. Let me show you the love in my heart.
much. Are you ready, Matt? I'm gonna come down and see you. I like your outfit. Condemnation. So, what party are we going to tonight? After the show. Are you ready to have some fun now? You're on, I said, Jesus. Someone to hear our prayers, someone who cares. You're on, I said, Jesus. Reach out and touch me, one more. Touch, baby.